Welcome to the Deep Dive. This is where we take a source suggested by you, our listeners, and really pull out the key insights to deepen your understanding.
And today, we're diving into a really interesting one. It's the book W2K Dolphins, Dreaming Our Planetary Healing Rev 6 by Patrice Joy. You can find it over on Amazon.
Exactly. So our mission here is to, well, boil down the core ideas from Patrice Joy's work. We're going to focus specifically on the techniques she talks about for personal healing, for, boosting your overall wellness. We know you want that valuable info without getting totally swamped, so we've done the sifting for you. We'll bring you the stuff that really stands out. So where do we kick this off?
Well, a book starts by linking things back to what it calls ancient wisdom. This first part, it touches on quite a few themes. Things like warnings from these beings called dolphin guardians.
Dolphin guardians, okay.
Yeah, and ideas about humanity needing deliverance from, well, self-destruction. It mentions ancient prophecies, the purpose of someone called the emissary. It's quite a mix.
Okay, let's maybe unpack that a little.
Yeah.
What's the main thread here? This connection between ancient wisdom and us now?
Fundamentally, the book's saying humanity is, like, at a crossroads, a really critical point. And it stresses learning from past civilizations, heeding messages for inner peace, outer peace, harmony.
Right.
There's even a specific point about receiving information, apparently back in meditation years ago, about Earth potentially facing combustion.
Combustion, wow.
Yeah, because of unbalanced ego and sort of a lack of compassion. That's the idea presented.
That's a pretty heavy warning. How does the book tie that into things we've seen more recently?
Well, it interprets the 2020 pandemic as a kind of wake-up call,
Okay.
highlighting this urgent need for inner strength, mental, emotional, and physical. And it also brings in the Black Lives Matter movement, seeing it as part of this bigger challenge to build a genuinely caring, inclusive world community.
So it's definitely connecting past warnings to present challenges. And it talks about guidance coming from different places too, right? Not just ancient civilization.
Exactly. The book suggests we're getting guidance from, well, past civilizations, yes, but also ascended masters, guardian angels, all nudging us towards better personal health and more compassionate communities.
Okay.
And this leads right into the concept of integrative medicine, which the author introduces fairly early on.
Integrative medicine. Yeah, we hear that term quite a bit. How's it framed here in this book's context?
Here, it's presented as really understanding that deep link between mind, body, and spirit. And a key takeaway the book emphasizes is vibrational frequency.
Vibrational frequency.
Yeah, that it's absolutely vital for our long-term health, our longevity, and it even suggests it can influence how our genes behave.
Vibrational frequency impacting our genes. Now that's an idea. The book then goes into detail about a specific message, doesn't it? Something from the Dolphin Guardians recorded in 2003.
It does. A message to my higher self. And there are some fascinating insights there about healing.
Like what? What stands out?
Well, one pretty striking idea is about dolphins being these highly advanced beings using sound for healing.
Sound healing from dolphins.
Yeah, including a specific shrill toning sound. It's apparently beyond our range of hearing.
Okay.
And it's said to be able to alter lower vibrations, the kind associated with disease within us.
Wow. Dolphins using sound like that. It makes you think differently about those, calming ocean soundscapes. Did it say more about where these dolphin guardians came from?
It did, actually. They're described as having once been a land-walking civilization.
Really?
Yeah, who apparently changed into water mammals during these huge floods ages ago, adapting their breathing, their whole body structure.
So that story, that adaptation, connects to their healing abilities.
That's the suggestion. That just like they adapted using vibration, their sounds can refine our human bodies, even down to our DNA. The book proposes we can use sound vibration too.
How so?
Within our blood, apparently, for bodily restoration. Things like limbs, teeth, tissue, organs, nerves, even skeletal alignment. It's about tapping into the body's potential to restore itself with the right energetic input.
That's a really different take on the power of sound. What else did this message emphasize? Besides sound, for our well-being?
A big one was purification, specifically through diet, eating pure, organic foods. It even mentions underwater sea plants for minerals and vitamins.
Makes sense. Fueling the body well.
Exactly, and it cautions against processed foods with chemical preservatives, saying they lower the body's frequency. It's like feeding ourselves the highest quality energy we can find.
Right, clean fuel for a clean engine, essentially. The message also touched on negative sounds in our environment, didn't it?
Absolutely. It points out that, destructive frequencies in our culture, discordant music, noise pollution, even harsher abusive words can be harmful.
The power of words.
Yeah, interestingly, it says each letter has a vibrational quality, and words like truth are seen as healing in themselves. It really stresses the need for positive, uplifting speech.
So, being mindful of the energy we absorb through our ears, but also the energy we put out with our words. Now, the book describes a specific practice, the blessing of the water ritual. What's the idea there? For personally.
This ritual, also from that 2003 Dolphin Guardian message, uses an ornate glass container, pure water, and quartz crystals that have been charged by the sun and moon.
Okay, sounds quite ceremonial.
It is. The core idea is inviting guardian angels and the sacred water beings to bless the water with healing energies, maybe even from star beings. The water is believed to absorb these higher vibrations.
So, consciously infusing water with positive energy. How does the ritual itself work? What are the steps?
It involves a specific breathing pattern, an angel 4-count breath cycle.
Okay.
You inhale for 4, exhale for 4. While doing this, you visualize pulling in this white starlight, maybe with silver and gold mixed in, into your aura.
Oh.
The intention is to dissolve destructive connections and fill any holes in your aura. Then you drink the blessed water.
And what's the intended effect of drinking it?
The belief is that it energetically shifts your cellular configuration, helps detoxification through the kidneys, and transmits these water world realm energetics. You're encouraged to visualize higher vibrations entering as you drink and, importantly, to feel gratitude. It's really about combining focused intention with a physical act to influence your energetic state.
Mindful intention meets physical action. Interesting. Then the book talks about the release of lower frequencies. What's the practical advice there for personal well-being?
This message focuses on using pure water, again drinking it, but also ceremonial bathing as a way to help move emotional pain for a mind-body-spirit clearing.
Water as a cleanser, emotionally too.
Exactly. And for people identified as emissaries or bringers of light, it specifically recommends drinking half their body weight in ounces of pure water daily.
That's quite specific. Why so much?
The idea is it helps filter out old patterns and bring in these higher frequencies they're supposedly working with. Water is really presented as a key conductor for energetic cleansing.
Water is a tool for clearing energy. That theme keeps coming up. Then there's a message from the Atlanteans about experiencing nature. What are the main points there for healing?
This one encourages connecting with nature's healing vibes, especially around sunset. It also touches on, different perceptions of time in other realms.
Nonlinear time.
Something like that. And the idea of instant teleporting, maybe through focused intention or meditation, to connect with Atlanteans in these high sanctuaries to learn their healing methods.
Connecting with nature, maybe even connecting with other realms through nature. What specific advice did they give for our well-being?
Some direct counsel. Watch the clouds and learn about being rather than doing. Let go of crisis orientation, be still.
Be still.
Yeah.
That's often easier said than done.
Isn't it just? They also pushed for embracing your true self, realizing your value. There's a visualization included too, of being held in God's presence within nature, maybe teleported into a tree, seeing a dove representing hope, your aura being healed and aligned with divine unconditional love, linked to rose quartz, and drawing strength from tree spirits and gentleness from the dove.
That's beautiful imagery. A real call to slow down and just be in nature.
Definitely. It highlights how much peace can be found just by connecting with those natural rhythms.
So the book mentions tools given to those on a spiritual path for healing work. What are these tools?
They're identified as animal totems and gemstone guardians, presented as aids for navigating shifts, both personal and planetary.
How do they help?
They help foster an understanding of interconnectedness, oneness, and communication on, let's say, higher levels of unity. People attuned to these are said to connect more easily with guidance from ascended masters and guardian angels. The core idea is that these symbolic energies offer wisdom and support.
Symbolic energies for guidance. Makes
Yeah.
sense. What about managing our own energy? How does the book suggest we recharge and recover our sense of empowerment?
It really emphasizes moving into higher frequencies. Frequency is what it calls alchemy. Lower frequencies like fear, jealousy, resentment, they're seen as drains.
Right.
And enlightenment isn't some huge complex goal. It's framed simply as remembering our basic loving nature. So the advice is to consciously choose those higher vibrational states to keep your energy up.
Focus on love. Let go of the negative stuff. Sounds simple but profound. The book talks about starlight emissaries, too. What's their role described as in terms of healing?
Their role is about bringing balance,
Hmm.
integrating higher vibrations to help humanity as a whole remember its connection to divinity. Their mission involves self-empowerment first,
Okay.
and then using that power compassionately to restore harmony. That includes balancing masculine and feminine energies within themselves and their relationships. It's really about individual change sparking wider healing.
Individual transformation for collective good. How do these bringers of light, as they're also called, help other people specifically?
They help by, well, restoring energetic connections, ones that were apparently lost in this illusion of separation. The book suggests our divine blueprint, our potential in our DNA, got obscured by lower vibrations, things like disease, emotional conflict.
So they help reactivate that.
Yes, they help with this DNA code activation, empowering others to reconnect with who they truly are.
That's a powerful idea, unlocking potential in others. Does the book mention other kinds of help available from other realms?
It does. It mentions help from Christic nature kingdoms and inner Earth star beings, maybe from Atlantis, Lemuria, other galaxies even.
Okay.
But the key message alongside that is the importance of holding your own inner power, controlling your thoughts and emotions, because doing that frees up energy that might get wasted in, control battles. It's about inner authority, even with help available.
Inner authority and available support.
Got it.
Got it. What about dealing with pain and suffering? What's the book's perspective on finding relief?
It suggests true deliverance from pain comes through self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance.
Yeah. Stop waiting for others to define you, basically. Go inward into inner silence to find your own path. The bringers of light help others see this as a state of grace, period. A chance to stop self-destruction and find joy in new beginnings.
A state of grace.
Ending all thinking that doesn't hold truth, trusting that things are taken care of by the divine, and balancing the auric field by releasing into divine protection and light. It's a shift from looking outside to finding peace inside.
Shifting focus inward. A recurring theme. It also mentions big energetic shifts, like the harmonic concordance back in '87. How is that still relevant for healing now?
That event is presented as a major accelerator for Earth's ascension, opening a cosmic doorway, allowing for the activation of 12-strand DNA, a symbolic shift from a carbon base to a crystalline one. It's seen as a key step in our collective evolution towards greater awareness.
So past events influencing our current potential. What about the Atlantean Council? What's their role now, according to the book?
They're described as actively helping humanity progress, move out of chaos, by remembering deeper truths about ourselves, working across different realities, apparently, to help us discover our origins.
And how do we connect with them?
The book says to pray for this knowledge, to request their assistance. Because of Earth's free will principle, we need to ask.
Right, we have to actively participate. There's also communication from tree wisdom, from Christic tree spirits. What insights come from that perspective?
This message highlights light healers and bringers of light being involved in mind-body-spirit clearing during Earth's ascension. It suggests our actual molecular composition is changing, turning into crystalline white starlight, clearing mental and emotional pollution.
Our very structure changing.
That's the idea. Emissaries are encouraged to transmute lower vibrations, stabilize their emotions to attract higher frequencies, and the tree spirits. They act as a communication system from inner Earth. Staying near them can offer direction. It really points to nature as a direct source of wisdom.
Nature as a communication channel. Powerful. Then there's the divine balance of feminine and masculine. Why is achieving that balance so important for well-being?
This message, linked to a guardian angel in 2002, stresses preparing for Earth's evolution through inner vibrational attunement. It holds up Ascended Master Jesus as an example of balanced, gentle strength, compassion, unconditional love, qualities needed to end intolerance and war.
So embodying those balanced qualities.
Exactly. The return of the divine feminine to balanced power with the divine masculine is seen as crucial for ending imbalance within us and thus in the world. Integrating these energies is key for inner peace and harmonious relationships.
Inner harmony reflecting outward. Makes sense. It also mentions energy shifts aligning us with the sacred geometry of the pyramids. What's the significance there?
These shifts are described as aligning our cellular structure with the energy patterns of sacred sites like the pyramids. This alignment is supposedly leading towards a kind of reunion known and unknown, conscious and unconscious, bringing joy and relief.
A reunion within ourselves.
Yes, and gathering our power in stillness. What the book calls the eye of love, a state of deep inner wisdom and connection.
Finding that still point, the eye of love. The book revisits the divine cellular blueprint in our DNA being activated. What are the key components of that process?
It reiterates that this blueprint got blocked by an unforgiving nature, lower vibrations.
Hmm?
The activation process involves using tools like the Ankh, other sacred symbols, musical tones, but
Okay.
crucially also cultivating inner qualities, forgiveness, self-love, gratitude. Those are the foundation. It's a mix of energetic tools and emotional states.
Tools and inner states working together. Got it. The book talks about moving into oneness, veils thinning between dimensions. What does that mean for us practically?
It signifies a planetary shift towards unity. Boundaries between realms become less rigid. So, for those with pure hearts, it becomes easier to journey to places like the water world and Christic nature kingdoms for learning and healing.
How would someone make such a journey?
As their higher self, apparently, in a protective bubble of white star light. Journeying to explore past lives held within the heart core, the thymus gland area, which is said to hold all life experiences in our soul mission.
Exploring our inner depths and soul mission. The book also mentions getting guidance from third heaven leaders.
Yes, counseling with them for solutions related to our mission. It even suggests a council of deities, holds conferences with world leaders, offering guidance on conflicts, implying a level of help beyond what's commonly perceived.
Higher guidance on personal and global levels. The message then calls us to prepare for our Earth assignment. What kind of preparation are we talking about?
The focus is on spiritual preparation, not trying to bail out, but engaging with our purpose here. We're assured that guidance is there for those holding higher frequencies. We're given tools, shared geometries, languages, symbols linked to sacred structures like pyramids and Stonehenge built by star nations.
Using sacred sites for healing.
Yes, walking in those vortexes is suggested for healing. It's about actively participating in our spiritual growth.
Actively participating. Okay, what about these personal power symbols mentioned for light healers? How do we find ours?
Each light healer or bringer of light is said to have a unique symbol rooted in sacred geometry from the pyramids, revealed in meditation or dreams. We're encouraged to ask our guardian angel for it.
Ask for it.
Yes, and crucially, release feelings of unworthiness or ineptness. Lift the imbalance of aggression versus martyrdom by remembering our wholeness. Lower vibrations, guilt, self-destructive practices, they block our evolution. These lower force fields are apparently leaving Earth.
Releasing inadequacy, embracing wholeness, important steps. Finally, for this section, the book explains the higher self. What's the core message about connecting with it for healing?
The higher self is described as that divine spark within each of us. Humanity kind of lost touch by focusing on lower vibrations, fear, lack, etc.
Right.
Reconnecting happens through divine unconditional love, which replaces fear and restores the bond. The divine was always connected, we just forgot. Restoration comes through attuning to that divine light shining through us.
Reconnecting with our inner divine light.
And understanding we're co-creators. Our thoughts shape our reality. Supportive beliefs act like magnets. Fearful expectations, though, can separate us from God's blessings, which are only for our highest good. It's about aligning our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, even unconscious patterns and karma with that higher potential. Removing the veil of imagined fear to see things spiritually. Calling for truth, not distorted perceptions.
Aligning our inner world with our highest potential. That's a powerful concept to end this first part on. A lot about connecting ancient wisdom, higher guidance, and our own inner power for healing.
Absolutely. It lays a foundation built on vibration, intention, and recognizing our divine nature.
We'll pause here, but there's much more to explore in Patrice Joy's book. We'll continue our deep dive right after this.